Handling carbs is critical for someone with diabetes. Dr. Richard Bernstein, diabetologist and author of Diabetes Solution and the Diabetes Diet, holds the opinion that a low-carb diet is the way to go. Well, also joining us is Hope Warshaw, author of The Complete Guide to Carb Counting and a registered dietitian who thinks that people with diabetes need to eat a moderate amount of healthy carbohydrates.
So we want to find out what your viewpoint is of the nutritional needs of a person with diabetes.
Okay. I want to make 3 quick points. Number 1, the research shows that low-carb diets don't work. People can't stay on them long-term, and they're simply not a healthy way of eating. Number 2, people with diabetes deserve to eat healthy and enjoy food. Number 3 is the carb issue today is not a quantity issue. It is a quality of carbohydrate issue. What we're eating too much of is added sugars, regular soda, fruit drink, and sweets. So what Americans need to do, I believe, is that they need to move those calories into healthier carbs.
And that's what we have here, the fruits, the vegetables.
That's right.
Well, this is very different from your point of view, Dr. Bernstein. What do you think about this?
Well, first of all, to say that low carb is untested is false. Humanity evolved eating flesh. That's why we have canine teeth. Our ancestors had managed to get a little bit of leafy vegetables here and there, but not 40% of their diet. A diabetic needs to have normal blood sugars or they get the complications of diabetes. You don't have to overwhelm yourself with carbohydrate and send your blood sugars sky high. Here's a whole grain bread, for example, which I'm just going to do a little demonstration and show how you instantly convert this to glucose.
Uh-oh.
This stuff turns from pink to blue in the presence of glucose. And look what's happened. Instantly.
Yeah.
I've made instant glucose just by chewing the bread. If I do it with the corn, if I do it with an apple, the same thing is going to happen. My blood sugar would go sky high if I ate this whole piece of bread. And then Hope might say, oh, take some insulin to bring it down. Well, you don't want to be up and then down. Large doses of insulin don't work in a predictable fashion, and this certainly applies to the use of insulin and carbohydrate.
How do you respond to what Dr. Bernstein just said?
The vast majority of people with diabetes need medication. I mean, what we know today about diabetes management is that it is good blood glucose control, good lipid control, and good blood pressure control that keeps people healthy long term. And I feel that people need a realistic way of eating.
Well, let's make it practical for the people who have diabetes. Dr. Bernstein, if someone wanted to do the low-carb diet that you're suggesting, what are the top 5 foods that they should be eating?
Well, any protein food, fish, meat, chicken, eggs, cheese, and vegetables. In my book, there's a list of about 30-some-odd vegetables that I can think of that are low in carbohydrate.
Okay, now Hope, give me some of your top 5 recommendations then on the types of foods people with diabetes should eat as well.
I think that people need to eat balanced meals. And certainly we've already talked about that I think that whole grains that have some fiber, fruits, vegetables, and certainly lean meats, and we've got some liquid vegetable oil out there. As much oil as possible should be liquid.
You can learn more about carbohydrates and diabetes control at dlife.com/carbs. When we return, a rodeo champ takes on diabetes.